Hi, this is Jana Whitley. I am the author of the Cuddly Cacti Crochet book that comes in the kit made by Thunder Bay Press. And with this video, I'm going to be demonstrating some parts of the Blue Columnar Cactus project. And you'll find that on page 32 of the book. And for this video, I'm going to assume that you know the basics, like how to get started with a slip knot, how to do chain stitching, and the single crochet, which I've demonstrated how to get started in some other videos that I have on my channel. So let's get started with this one. You can see here, this is an example of what the piece will look like when it's done. This is from the small arrangement project. This is what the face will look like, and this is the finished piece without the spines in it. And then you can see there's some fuzzy bits where I've started making the spines. So I'll demonstrate those because the instructions in the book are a little bit vague. So let's get started with I've got the yarn here. This is worsted weight yarn. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver. You can use whatever shade of green or turquoise you like. In the wild, the real Blue Columnar Cactus is kind of a dusty bluish color. But for this purpose, I'll just use green because that's what I've got on hand. So I'm going to start with a slip knot. And I'm going to do the short stem instructions. I'm going to, for the foundation chain 16, and I've got the E hook, which is 3.5 millimeters. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Alright, and now for row 1, I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So if I take my hook out, you can see this is the working loop, which is, I count that as 0. And this is 1, 2, so this is the second chain from the hook. So I'm going to put my hook back in there. I'm going to insert my hook in that second chain from the hook, and that creates that first chain from the hook, it creates the bend, so I can bend around. And so I'm going to insert that chain into the chain, yarn over, pull through the chain, so I have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over again, pull through, and that's my first single crochet. And now I'm going to do that through every chain, just inserting the hook through that loop and making my single crochet as I go, and I will end up with 15 stitches when I get to the end. And it does tend to want to curl up, so sometimes I'll just kind of press it flat and set the stitches with my fingers as I'm going along. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think, let's see. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let me count and make sure. I've got the 15 single crochet. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that is correct. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And you can flop it either way. It really doesn't matter. Like flop it this way, that way. And now, this is important. I am going to work in the back loops only from now on. So from rows 2 to 11, you're going to catch the back loop only. So if you look in the V here that forms the top of the stitch, there's the front loop is the part that's facing you. The back loop is facing away from you. So I'm gonna, instead of, normally I would put my hook under both loops like that to make the stitch, but in this case with BLO, back loops only, I'm going to insert my hook just here. And then I'm going to catch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both to make my single crochet. And then do that again to the next, go through the back loop only, and do a single crochet. Now, you can see that the front loops are still visible there. And that's going to form a little line, a little ridge that makes forms kind of a nice ribbing of the rib look to make the cactus stem. Because a real cactus, it has, what it does is when it rains, the stem of the cactus absorbs water, and then the ribbings make it so it can like expand like a sweater, and to hold that water. And then when it dries out, those ribs kind of shrink together. So that's why we want a ribbed appearance. This is what it's going to look like when you're done with the piece. So I'll just continue. I'll finish this row by going in that back loops only. To the end. Okay, and you can see here's that line of remaining front loops. Okay, and then when we get to the last one, so you can see there's the V, and then there's like a crossbar, so you don't want to go on that crossbar. So we go there, and then you're going to count and make sure you got 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then you're going to chain 1, turn, and do back loops again, just like you did before. So there's, insert that hook into that back loop, do a single crochet, and you're just going to keep doing that until you've got 11 rows. So I'm going to skip ahead, and let's see. So here's a piece. Let's see if we've got 11 rows here. We got let's see, foundation chain, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is ready to go to row 12. So let me just get there real quick. Chain 1, turn. Okay, so here we are. Now we're gonna take this piece. We're gonna fold the foundation chain. So you can tell it's a foundation chain because it's got that little tail from where we started with the slip knot. We're gonna fold it behind. And then in the back loops of row 11 and the remaining foundation chain loops, we're going to slip stitch in the next 15 stitches together. So I'm going to go through the back loop here in row 11. I'm going to catch that loop there, and then I'm going to slip stitch through all 3 of those loops like so. And then we'll do it again. We'll go through the back loop there, go through the next chain here, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 of those, and keep your tension. You might, when you're make sure your tension's not too tight here, because it'll want to. Slip stitches tend to want to be smaller than the single crochets, and they tend to want to cinch up. So I would recommend when you finish the stitch, just pull this a little bit looser than you normally would, just to give it less tension so it won't cinch up on you. And then you're just going to continue down that row, and this is basically sewing these edges together. That's what you're doing. And there it is, like that. You can see this is the beginning tail, and we're keep going here. I hope you can see these clearly enough with this dark yarn. Darker yarn's a little hard to see the stitching. So it's going to form a tube. And if you've done this correctly, you won't have, it'll match up nicely at the end. But if you have like one extra, that's okay. You can just fudge it and it's not gonna really hurt the look of it. So there's the last one. Okay, now you're going to fasten off with a tail. So there's, I've already have this cut. There's my tail. I'm going to pull that working loop out so that it doesn't come unraveled. So there's my tube, and you can put your finger in it like so. You can see what it'll look like when it's kind of stuffed. Now, now it goes, the instructions go on to the tall stem, but we're going to skip ahead to the assembly part of it so I can show you what that looks like. That's just going to be on page 35 in this assembly here. So we're going to take a needle. So I've got my needle right here. I really like these bent tip needles for amigurumi, and it's also blunt on the end. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to make a running stitch along the ends of the rows and pull them tightly to cinch the rows together. So running stitch is going to be just simply in and out, like so, and pull through, and then just catch the top of a row like so. You only need to do about 6 of these stitches really to cinch it up, and come back to the beginning like so, and then you cinch it, pull that snug. So you can see that forms the top of the cactus. And it makes it a nice rounded shape. And then we're gonna do an overhand knot to make sure that doesn't come undone. So go in, make a loop like so, go through the loop. That makes an overhand knot. And then I just go in maybe, and if you need to, you can take a couple of stitches back and forth if there's any remaining little hole showing. And then I'd like to just go inside the work, come out a couple inches later, and just trim that off close to the work. And we'll just hide the end inside there, like so. So there you go. It looks kind of like a finger poppet. All right, now, let's see. We're going to make a face. So again, this face is going to look like this, right? And so this is 3 fly stitches. So it makes a U shape this way, and then, or V shape, and then it's the same stitch this way, just in the other direction. And let me get my needle set up. Okay, so I've got my needle, and I've got 6-strand white embroidery floss. There it is right there. And now I'm going to take it inside, and I'm going to make the mouth first. So let's start right there. Okay, and I'll just leave a couple inches on the inside. Now I'm going to loop it down like that to kind of see where I want it, and then I'm going to come in like I'm going to insert my needle. Imagine like a horizontal line going across. I'm going to insert my needle right here where I want the other corner. Like this is one corner of the mouth, and then this is the other corner of the mouth. And then I'm going to insert it at the bottom, like so. It's forming a triangle. So there's this point where it comes out, the insertion, and then come out again in a triangle like that. And it's important that you have the thread lying underneath the needle when it comes out, because it's going to, when you pull it, it's going to catch it like this. Okay, and that is going to form the bottom of the mouth right there. And then you're going to insert it like in the same hole to hold that. And now I'm going to come up right here where I want to form the other eye, or the first eye, I should say. So I'm going to pull that like so. Oops, and then let's make the other eye. So now we're going to make a eye going in the opposite direction like that. So I'm going to turn my work this way to make it easier. And again, I'm just going to form a triangle. So if this is one point, this is the other corner of the eye, and then on the third point is this forms the triangle this way with the thread coming underneath that needle, and pull it gently. Don't pull it super snug to form a U shape or V shape. And then you're going to insert your needle back in that same hole again. And then we're going to, that's finished that eye, so we're going to come over here, do the other eye. So right there. And then we're going to, I'm going to make that loop, kind of bring it down to see where I want it to be. And then put the needle in horizontally and come down at an angle to form that triangle shape with the yarn, with the thread underneath the needle. Pull it gently, and there we go. So there's the face. Now this face is not quite what I like. So I mean, I have got the 3 stitches, but they're kind of far apart. So if I decide I don't like that, I can pull it out and change the stitching. And it's easy enough to just kind of work your needle like so. And you know, this is very common for me to pull out when I'm making faces. Sometimes it takes me several tries. I just, because I'm pretty fussy about where the eyes are, because that's really gives it the life. So sometimes I'll just do several tries until I'm really satisfied with it. So there we go. I'm going to make the eye a little smaller this time. This one looks a little bit sleepy. A sleepy eye. We'll see. And if you don't like this shape, you can do like just straight lines for the eyes, or you can do the eyes pointing upward like the mouth is. So I like that one a little better. Okay. Let me just go back down into the middle of the cactus and bring it out the bottom like so. Okay. Don't pull it too tightly. So that looks pretty good. I kind of like that. So yeah, these stitches will give your cactus like a little personality, a little anthropomorphism, making them look a little human. So yeah, just experiment with that, see what you like. All right, and you don't have to do it white. You could do yellow, gold. All right, so the next part is we're going to form those spines. And this is a little tricky. Let's see. Well, not tricky, just it's a lot of work. Okay. If you don't like the look of the spines, you don't have to do the spines. But so we're going to come down. See these little remaining front loops right here? So we're going to come up just on right through that loop. And we're going to like maybe form a loop about that big. And then we're going to go down into the next one. Well, we're going to skip this loop and go to the next one. And then come up with the next one. Like so. Let's see how that works. So, if I do, about that. And then the instructions say we're going to snip it. Oops, my needle fell off. Hang on. Let's see, go through that one. So the idea is to get these little spines onto the ridges, like that, and you can trim them to be shorter if you want. And if you want to make so that they're secure, so that they won't, if this is going to be like not just for display, if it's going to be like a smaller child who might play kind of rough with it, what you can do is as like a little back stitch. So give it like a little overhand knot, like so, to secure it, and then you go down in the same spot and come up. When you're doing it around the face, don't try to, go around if you don't make spines through the face here. Just do it just stop here and then start again up here. So let's make another loop there. Actually, we're going to do a little overhand knot, like so, and then go back into this. And then when you get close to the tops of cactuses have more concentrated spines, so you can make spines like every stitch. I would, let's see, there you go. You can use a smaller needle if you want. So that gives you the general idea of how to do it. Make those little spines. And, it might take a little practice. You might want to start in the back or start on a piece of scrap crochet to kind of get the hang of it, like that. Okay, I hope this was helpful. If you have any additional questions, please comment below. Thanks.